sports. Can't escape from the team, called the morning steam. It's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the mother. You know how we do it.
All right, and a pleasant good morning to you from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott. Welcome to the Morning Steam Show for Super Bowl week. We've made it. We've arrived. The time is now Monday, February 3rd. Hope you had a good sports betting weekend, but this is the drill is over now. Time to get ready for the big game this Sunday with the Chiefs and the Eagles. Haven't seen that line movement that I've expected just yet, but we'll see what happens this week. Hope you guys are ready to roll. It hopefully won't get here soon enough. It will get here soon enough. And get ready for our awesome game this week. Say hello to some folks in the chat. Thank you for joining me here today. I don't know, it wasn't much of a thrilling day, it felt like, on Sunday, but definitely had some winners in the NBA. And yeah, we had a good weekend. Hopefully we're ready to go here today. I want to say hello to some folks in the chat. We got a relatively short show, I would think, today. Yes, we've got 10 NBA games, one on the ice, and then I've selected some college basketball games to go over, which will get ready for the weekend. Daddy Beats was here early to open things up. And, oh man, well, look what's going on here. I don't know if these are just I don't know how this works, but these guys are new members either now, later, whatever. Great to have them. They're all regulars anyways in there. James Parm here. Thomas is here this morning. Good morning, everyone. Like this video. Subscribe to our channel. Sports Bunny here on YouTube, the fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. Don't forget to check out the post tabs as we're getting some of the content ramped up here for the week and get ready for the game, and we'll have more content this week, and Mike's got some special things planned for the members, so it's a good week to kind of promote the channel and invite everyone in to check us out here on the Sports Bunny Network. Cash Kane here today, Joe W as well. Hello, there is Mike in the chat, and must be a busy week if the boss is up, ready to go early here. Robert McCormick watching that races there last night. We were definitely looking to get in there and mix it up there. And interesting race there at the at that quarter of a mile oval. I really have an affinity for the short track. It might not have been everybody's cup of tea there yesterday, but certainly an interesting venue. And like I said, I've been to those short tracks. Quarter of a mile is really tight, isn't it? I mean, it was really unique racing there, but something we're going to see here. Nicholas Handy as well. So good to see everyone in here as we get rolling with our week. We're ready for our big stock market crash today, so we better win this week at the Super Bowl. And yeah, we still know that we're sitting on that line right now of Kansas City minus 1.5 and the total 49. And like I said, my prediction is that the Eagles will move to the favorite. eventually before kickoff. Maybe I'll be wrong, but maybe it'll be a pick 'em. I just feel like the line will move the other way. So we'll see how it goes this week. And I think by the end of the week, you'll know what team I'm on if you don't know already. So thought maybe we just kind of gradually ramp it up as we get ready for the weekend. So, all right, I'm gonna move over to my commercial here in just a moment. But maybe some of the most interesting things, of course, this weekend took place off the court and off the uh, field, if you will, with our news in the NBA. Another big trade yesterday, of course, with uh, De'Aaron Fox in that three-team deal. I guess there was about a dozen players or more in the deal that included the Spurs getting De'Aaron Fox, Sacramento gets Zach LaVine, and uh, number one picks in there as well. And the Bulls get Zach Collins, Kevin Huerter, and Trey Jones. So who's going today? Who's going to be on the move today? Could it be Jimmy Butler moving somewhere? Could Brandon Ingram be out at New Orleans? Could Atlanta and Phoenix be talking a trade? Could Toronto get involved? So just waiting for more deals down the line in the NBA. I mean, that was the big news, obviously, off the huge blockbuster here. We've had time to digest it. We've seen Luka get off the plane. So, we can only move forward from here. But man, has it opened the floodgates for some other big names to be on the move in the NBA? Maybe we're in a new era. Maybe we're back to the old days of seeing some real trades out there. All right. And an interesting day, certainly on Sunday. I don't know if I had as much fun as I would have liked, but we did have some winners as I extended my winning streak a little bit here in the NBA with my sports money premium picks. But some of the others a little bit rough around the edges still in college basketball. Nonetheless, it was in the NBA. We did have premium pick winners with the Sixers and Memphis. Also, totals winners here on the show. Dallas and Cleveland over, Celtics and Sixers over, Grizzlies and Bucks over. Joe T would be proud of me there. My unders actually ended up with losers. So I went 3-2, but all the overs cashed, I think, and the unders went down. So interesting day there in the NBA. Of course, Cleveland ended up rolling Dallas there a little bit. Following that trade, even though maybe it didn't affect them as much on the court personnel wise, and maybe shaking some of these teams up, maybe a bit of a pause for some bettors here moving forward. Milwaukee ended up getting blasted there a little bit by Memphis. There as we had Team Steam consensus, we'll mention it. Hey, you guys had the 76ers over the Celtics there yesterday getting those points. So nice job by Team Steam consensus with that play there as the Celtics couldn't get it done again against the number, but you guys made the call there with the Sixers. NHL, we did have a premium pick winner with New Jersey and Buffalo game to go over. We also had winners here on the show with the Anaheim Ducks over the Montreal Canadiens. I also have the under in St. Louis and Utah. Premium pick winner last night, Calgary Flames over Seattle Kraken, and we had the under here on the show yesterday in that game. College basketball, we did have some premium pick winners. Fairfield and Iona game to go over. We had Quinnipiac over with Siena, that game to go over. We had on the show, remember, West Virginia there yesterday, or we kind of called that one there with West Virginia, right? We said, how can this one not be an under game right now, the way these two teams are going? And West Virginia was live, and we had them here on the show. Also, consensus winner, Team Steam. Great job. Furman on the road against East Tennessee. You guys called it. Good small conference play there from Team Steam consensus. And also, it was Memphis and Rice. We had a premium pick winner on the over there in that one. Also, Northern Iowa winner for us here on the show yesterday. Also, we gave out Colorado and TCU game to go under. Also, North Dakota State over St. Thomas. We had that one as well. And late night, Nebraska over Oregon in that game, though. Still, Nebraska was able to come up with a good performance there in that 77-70 victory there. I want to say it was late last night, 77-71, actually. Really dismal shooting there from the teams from beyond the arc. The Ducks haven't looked too good here, losing now 4 of their last 5 games. The other feature, certainly from the Big Ten, and we called it, right, with the uh, no, I'm sorry, with Illinois rocking Ohio State there late, Buckeyes led 42-36 at halftime, but Illinois had the strength on them, 87-79, as they were really powerful inside. Shows the strength of Illinois really going up against the Buckeyes in that one. Fort Wayne beat Milwaukee by 2. They won 6 of their last 8 games overall. And think that was probably it from the college basketball. Let me know what you were on. We can do the commercial. Get ready with the show. Appreciate you joining me here this morning. Get ready for our big week. See who else? Bowman Gray. There it is. Bob Mack says Bowman Gray there. What a interesting race course. I covered a small oval here in my hometown for about 10 years. 3/8 of a mile paved oval in East San Diego County, and I loved Saturday nights up in you could smell the rubber, and you open that door, open that window up so you can get a whiff. Joe W. here today as well. He says Eagles 0-10 as a dog against the teams they beat in the previous meeting. And remember that game, 21-17 in that regular season meeting there. But some of the personnel's changed there, certainly, but great stat. Our Tom's here this morning. And Clarissa Shields, talking Clarissa Shields, overcoming a little bit of an injury and definitely strong performance there last night. Maybe that was the feature. I guess for me, I was watching the Grammys there too. So, hey, I thought I made some good calls. We didn't have any plays, but I mean, I was trying to call out who the superstars were last night. And, well, I mean, it was probably pretty obvious, but we did say it on the show there. And there's Jermaine ready to go. We've got some small schools lined up here today. I'm going to look at some games on the extra board for sure with our light card today. And we did, Fernando says, Gonzalez is indeed on the move there. Jerry Davis, good morning. Scott Cobe here. I'll say Cobe. Okay, and Illinois, West Virginia under NHL Parlay Stars and Panthers. Great job. All right. And you can get my best plays here today over at winnable.com/Ramon. Follow me and check out my action here on Monday in college basketball, 10-game NBA card, and NHL as well. We always have our plays up there, my premium plays, my best plays over here at winnable.com/Ramon every day. Hopefully going to give you a bunch of winners here right now on the show, previewing our games today. But if you want to get my late action here, usually this card comes in anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 hours before game time. So this is how I can reach you directly with my late information, and you can have a bunch of plays in your pocket. Set your notifications, comes up right on your phone. $4 a day, $8 a week, $19.95 a month. Use the promo code STEAM to save 20%, and that'll cost you 50 cents a day. This is how you support me here on the Sports Money Network channel. And you can click that QR code in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. That'll take you to that winnable page. And I really have a great time putting my plays up there, trying to get on a little bit of a win streak here. So hopefully we'll do it today. I do like this NBA card. Thank you for listening to that. And there's the address here at winnable.com/Ramon. It comes up right on your phone. And you can pay with Google Pay, Apple Pay, and it's run through Stripe. So it's pretty legit. And it looks just like this. When you call it up on your phone, you get a picture of me there, and you can subscribe to it right there at the bottom with the Apple Pay, the Google Pay. And I have a free subscription package as well. Give you some other plays on there, including some of my tennis. and maybe some of that soccer action. I see Fernando with the guys in here, and there is some domestic league action here today, including uh, EPL game this afternoon. West Ham and Chelsea, Serie A, Lazio and Cagliari, La Liga, Las Palmas at Girona, and one game in the championship, Sunderland and Middlesbrough. Some of the features today on the pitch. All right, we're getting ready to start the show here. Scott's been liking the tennis as well. I'm watching some action here right now. We're just getting underway in the next tournament, but seeing Lulu Sun rocking Caroline Garcia right now currently is an interesting match going on. And we got Tsitsipas here on the screen. So, all right, let's get ready to go with the show. Talking in some NBA basketball today. Get your pens, pencils, and rotation orders ready as we take a look at this 10-game card. Going to start off here with the Hawks and the Pistons. In this one, the Pistons favored here by 4.5, total 234.5. Did have just one piece of steam just kind of roll in there. Why not kick it off here, at least on the week, with some? Because I thought I did leave this one off the previews because maybe it's not actually the best game, even though it is a major game between Virginia and Pittsburgh. Steam here came in on the under in this one between Virginia and Pittsburgh. Kind of want to I don't have that one preview, but it's kind of one of those games where I kind of want to say, it's not always the best idea to go under in Virginia games, but the steam's coming in on the under. I'll respect that. 133 down to 132 here right now, but I don't know. Kind of was going to be tricky here and go premium on the over. Maybe I'll rethink it now with these sharps coming in on the under here with Virginia and Pittsburgh. I mean, I get it. I'm the leader king of going under in Virginia games a lot of times, but I don't know if these two teams are kind of doing that right now and kind of want to go over, but this team just came in on the under. All right, let me go here and get ready for our NBA. Get ready with your picks as well. And go over all these matchups here and see what else is rolling in from the steam here in the NBA. Let me just put this one out there. We'll get to it in just a few moments, but right now the steam is coming in here with Sacramento and Minnesota. Steam to the over here. That seems to make a little bit of sense. This one was 221 overnight. This thing's all the way up to 224.5 right now. Let me make sure it was man, this one's 223 at Bovada, but man, this one's gonna go higher. And oh boy, I really like that one here this morning. We'll see how high it goes. I was gonna go premium with it, I think, but it's gonna get up to 224, I think. Still only 223 at Bovada, 222 at DraftKings right now. Sacramento and Minnesota is gonna get steamed here any moment, is what they're telling me. There goes boom. All right. I'm not getting too excited yet. Maybe they won't blow it up just yet. All right. I see some other comments in the chat. Sports Money's got some soccer plays in there today. Wake this guy up and he'll be firing at you. Here, Cash Kane likes Hawks money line. If Trey's in, I think he's in tonight. It's got to be probable here, it feels like. Thomas likes Detroit as well. Guys are hot on the soccer talk here today, and even Mikey was talking a little bit of other action here. I didn't even get to any of our Turkish league play here. Good morning to Doubles. Nice to see him here today. Tyrone Christopher as well. Promise I'm going to start the show, but glad to see everyone in here. Talking Luca, hey, you smash it like it and pass it around here. Philly Eagle Flyer ready to go in some of the action in Turkish League as well. All right, we're going to need to win big, man. This money is going to be disappearing here very, very soon with this big market sell off about to kick in here at the opening bell. So I already see it. Boom. Everything's going to crash here any moment. It feels like stop, stop. The line is going down. The line is going down. All right. Here we go with the Hawks and the Pistons today. And see what you got here in this one with the Hawks on the road. Just really getting, I'm going to be on tilt here any second with this total expected sell off. I don't even want to pay attention to it. I should turn the phone off, turn the channel off. All right. Atlanta comes in here certainly still on a losing streak right now. Yeah, we got Young. I'm expecting Young in there today for Detroit. They do come in with a couple of wins here in a row of late. Detroit with wins over the Bulls yesterday, of course. And also, they beat Dallas before that, but we saw the Bulls there. Lose that game to the Pistons. What was it? Or I'm sorry, the Pistons won it. What did we have? We had the Bulls. Yeah, that's right. I lost it. Pistons won it 127 to 119 as a 6-point favorite there in that one. So good performance there for Detroit. They've been pretty decent, of course, at home. 25 and 23 against the spread overall. Atlanta is 17 and 13 against the spread as a dog. See what we can do here in this one with Atlanta and Detroit and get more games from you. Atlanta's now lost 8 straight games coming in. Detroit's done a pretty nice job covering numbers at home. 4 straight meetings between these two teams have gone over here for Detroit. They are 25 and 23 to the over this season. Atlanta 29 and 20 to the over this season, but just 3 and 7 to the under in their last 10 games coming into this one. So the widely reported steam did come in on the under here, showing right now 234 and a half here in this one. So maybe the number opened up a little bit high. Some reports of it even as high as 237, maybe generally 236. All right, let's get a few more plays in here, I think. I caught them all. You guys are having a great conversation in there. All right, Scott talking about some of the effects of those trades today. You wonder about the sports betting tariffs, right? Hello to T-Bird out there today. Robert's on the Pistons here in this one. And T-Bird, Atlanta, and over. Scott says maybe because of the back-to-back there for Detroit, you can still grab these points with Atlanta. But it's up to 4 or 4.5 even right now. So the move is clearly on the Pistons, and I feel compelled to update the – I do have it there at 4.5. So already laying a point more than the general opener, it feels like right now. Smash it and like it, everybody, says Nuke. All right. Good day. Hey, Nate Dog there in the chat. Good to see Nate. Hawks money line and under here for Kane. Bill Eagle Flyer, look at those soccer props. I'm going to end up here on the Pistons. I'm going to lay 4.5 here in this one with Detroit. All right. Go to the next matchup here right now. And, hey, we're just desperate to have a bunch of games here on a card. So let's talk about the Wizards and the Hornets. Well, give the Wizards credit for finally snapping that long losing streak last game. Great job. They, of course, beat Minnesota 105 to 103 as a 12-point underdog. Minnesota had their own issues in that game, it felt like. For Charlotte now, they're on the ones on a losing streak with a 4-game losing skid right now, but they did cover in the last 2 games as double-digit dogs against Denver and against the Clippers at home. So bad teams covering some numbers here. Not really for Washington, but they did win and cover that game. They even in that long losing streak, though, they were having issues getting the number in a lot of those games. They've snapped that 16-game losing streak, but Charlotte has failed to cover the spread in 7 straight games as a home favorite. So definitely not their good role either here. They're not favored very often, but this season they're 0-8 as a favorite against the spread. So how they're going to cover this one, even against a bad Wizards team here in the ugly game of the day. Charlotte's gone under in 10 of their last 11 games coming into this one. And, Washington in general has been an under team as well. They've gone under in 10 of 23 games on the road. It's been more the Hornets that are the strong under. But in those games where they were a favorite, they've had a couple of overs for sure. All right, bear with me on my voice here today. Maybe I'm all ramped up for the games this weekend. All right, it does feel like Hornets are slightly the better cover team, or I guess less um, better than the Wizards, then maybe is what I'm trying to say, because the Wizards are 8-14 against the spread on the road. But again, the Hornets is a favorite. You just don't want to trust them at all. How can I even recommend either one of these teams? I'll just take the under as my play here in this one. Maybe you might think that really bad teams might have no defense and it might go over, but still with Charlotte obviously going under quite a bit lately. And, the Wizards certainly slightly trending under. I'm just going to take the under. I guess I would just bet the Wizards and not tell anybody. And let's see if anybody played this one. Jermaine with a little bit of prop. Jason says Hornets and under here. And right, Matt, that's why I said, right, that was really lame. I don't look, flag football played by women, that's pretty exciting actually. But the men, I'm not so sure, even though maybe that will be what football likes when uh, I'm gone, and maybe in maybe 20 or 30 years, maybe that's what football will look like. But it does feel like
Steam play.
that was a very, very boring flag football game. And like I said, I think moving forward, the best game of the postseason is the Senior Bowl. Those players seem to care. They're always going to be a little bit older, and they're shooting for their prospective hopes. And it seems like the players really cared about it. I think the Senior Bowl is the best of all the all-star football games right now. Okay, T Bird, first half Washington. And we'll see those other games there as well. Nate, no two players who have been all NBA first teamers. Now that's certainly a little bit more of a modern classification, even though the all NBA team's been around. And also, I've never had 2 players that have averaged 25 points or more, I believe is what the numbers were on that. Abel's on the Hornets. Thomas likes the Hornets. And I think that's it. All right, I'm going to take the under there in that one. I think we spent a little too much time on that game. Okay, the Rockets and the Knicks. And here, obviously, hey, this one will take you back to, remember, I know what you're thinking. I know what I'm thinking when I always see the Rockets and the Knicks. It might be, not the best thing to think about, the OJ chase, but we can move past that now. But you got the Rockets and the Knicks here. But the Knicks here had their winning streak snapped last time out. with that loss to the Lakers, 128 to 112. Of course, they were uh, up against it there, and that one didn't look too good in that loss to the Lakers at home, favored by double digits. And Lakers came in and stunned them. For Houston, coming in, they've lost two in a row to Brooklyn and to Memphis. Coming into this one, Houston has been one of the best teams, certainly on the road, and their defense. It does seem to kind of transcend right now. I don't know if we totally think of them. I don't know. I do kind of a strong defensive team. It feels like to me. The Knicks, though, they've been very, very hot. There's no doubt about it. I think over the long term this season, you'd have to consider the Rockets are the better covering team here, but it does feel like this momentum for the Knicks has been really strong. And they've won 5 straight meetings here with the Rockets at home over the last 5 years. So also the Knicks have covered the spread in 4 straight games when coming off of a loss. Houston's gone over in 6 of their last 7 games overall. I hope I can make it through this broadcast here today. uh, Both teams kind of trend to the over. Houston is 15-10 to the over on the road this season. The Knicks generally trend over at 27-22 to the over. Houston has gone over in 6 of their last 7 on the road right now, and five. Uh, Five, let me see. Well, let's just go to the chat on this one and see what you got. I think I'm ready here. And it is. Jason says the Knicks in or out. And Jermaine said these teams will do anything. And Thomas says he'll take the Rockets here. The line looks sort of tricky. Robert on the under here. Abel likes the over in this one. I feel like this is about as confident as the Knicks have kind of looked as well. Uh, we've expected them to be strong all season, and maybe they've hit a good stride in Houston. The way they've been stunning teams here of late, to end up in that losing that game to Brooklyn. I don't know if I'm not saying it's a concern necessarily. It did feel like a big break there. Remember, they were playing so well against teams like Cleveland and Boston, and they're still a young team, so they did hit a little bit of a wall there, possibly. So I'm going to try to grab the Knicks here tonight against Houston. Houston maybe here, maybe just a little bit of a slump, right? What happened was they played all those road games, went home for one game, and played the Brooklyn Nets and threw in a clunker, just like we expect sometimes. Oh, that they come back from one game and they have to play a home game and then go right back out on the road like this. So I'll take the Knicks here tonight. All right, Jermaine's on the under here, and Scott says it's already 6 now at DK. It's 6 everywhere. I got to update that here. We can't go by now. We've got to update the graphic before we leave this game. That's just too big of a move. So I'll lay it. I have to lay it -6 here, and I'll do it. All right, next up, the Kings and the Wolves. In this one, you've got the Wolves favored by 4.5, maybe even 5 now at Bovada. The total here is 222 in this one. Of course, we do know about, obviously, with the personnel changing here for the Kings. How will it affect them today a little bit? Doesn't feel like the line. Yeah, maybe it would have been, certainly lower by a couple of points, it feels like. But the Timberwolves have some injury woes as well coming in, with Julius Randle currently out of this game. Anthony Edwards is questionable with an illness as well. Naz Reid, he is questionable. So there are some issues with Minnesota as well coming into this game. Now, Sacramento hasn't been playing very well, so they definitely hit a bit of a slump or hit the wall there a little bit after some success just shortly before the start of the mid-season point here, but right now Sacramento just 4-9 against the spread as a dog. Minnesota's been one of the worst teams though against the spread as a favorite, 13-25 overall against the spread. The Kings have been a little bit uh, tougher on the road than Minnesota. Dismal record at home for sure, just 5-17 against the spread at home this season. They've been the worst really there. So let's take a look here and see what you want to do in this one with the Kings and the Timberwolves tonight. Minnesota comes in hot here, having won 5 of their last 6 games overall, with wins over Utah, Phoenix, Atlanta, Denver, and the like before that stunning loss to Washington. 5 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone under, but the widely reported steam did come in on the over here in this one at 221 or so, 220 of 2, as we said just a few moments ago, and really it hasn't moved like I was expected. So I don't know if it was a balk by the line service or what, but I felt like the steam was rolling in. They cranked it up here and said that was the case, but I'm not sure it is now. See what you guys have in the comments. And this one just feels a little bit peculiar because of those, the personnel situation here leading into this one. All right. And let's see what we got here. Oh, Terrell was down there taking the Knicks. Sorry, I didn't stay on that game there. Oh. All right, here's Thomas on Minnesota. All right, there we go. Got some bonus prop here. And Scott likes Edwards maybe over in his prop there. Robert likes the Timberwolves as well. And okay, I'm going to end up just taking Sacramento on a premise here. Plus the points in this one. Yeah, they're shaking up the lineup there a little bit, but obviously Sacramento thinking they're making some improvements, even if they are, a bit shorthanded here tonight. Like I said, it feels to me like Minnesota's got more impactful injuries. The Kings are usually the healthiest team in the league, it feels like. So even though they made the big change there, I'm going to end up here on the Kings tonight. Next up, got a nice one here, but a big spread with the Bucks taking on the Thunder here in this one. Of course, the Bucks played against the Grizzlies last night, ended up looking pretty weak there at the end of the game in the fourth quarter, right? Because the Bucks were doing an okay job there a little bit, but Bobby Portis is questionable in this one for Milwaukee. For the Thunder, guard Jalen Williams, he's questionable in this one. Cason Wallace questionable. Alex Caruso questionable as well for the Thunder here. We know the Thunder's rolling through anything that's standing in their way, it feels like right now. And yes, Milwaukee can be that inconsistent team on the road, especially right now. 3 straight losses coming into this one for Milwaukee, including a home loss against Memphis. They're kind of doing the same thing that we just talked about with the Rockets. They were on a long road trip, came home for one game against Memphis, got blown out, and now they got to go on the road here again and take on one of the best teams in the league. Oklahoma City is coming in off of a win and a cover. They blew out the Kings 144-110 last time out. So what are you going to do here, gang, with the Kings taking on the Bucks taking on the Thunder here? Got to catch my voice here a little bit after each game. All right, let's go to the chat and see what you have here in this one. Milwaukee has gone over in 7 of their last 8 games on the road. These two teams are hardcore overs for sure right now. maybe the Thunder has some under tendencies, but not lately, right? I mean, the Thunder have gone over in five straight and five straight games at home. They've gone over in 9 of their last 10 overall, and they're 25 and 20 to the over as a favorite. Now the Bucks are 4 and 7 to the under as a dog. And let's see here. Scott likes the under. I'm sorry, likes the Thunder here. Uh, Despite that line move, he said he got it last night when it was down there at 9. And look at the move we've seen so far. In fact, I'm showing it right now. Mostly 11 and a half, and the total is up here to 240 and a half. I'm sorry, 230. Yeah, 232 and a half. Laying it with OKC, says Kane. Thomas does like the Bucks here. I think Robert might be thinking just too many points. Can't do it. Got to take the Bucks maybe. Timmy Two Shoes says this is a low price for SGA here today. Oldies here. Jermaine's got some numbers. Redbeard might go over. Fernando says lay it. And Terrell says what I'm thinking here. OKC a problem matchup. Look, I'm gonna just take it here as my play on the show. I like the Thunder. I think it's reasonable that this could be still a tougher matchup. That not a tougher matchup, but still got to cover double digits against a formidable opponent here. It is maybe a great situation for the Thunder that may be reflected in the line, obviously, with a double-digit spread against teams that, suffice to say, the Bucks are still playoff bound. But they could use a few more wins, certainly. All right, I'll take the Thunder in this one. All right, next up, we got the Spurs here taking on the Grizzlies. In this one, you got the Grizzlies, a big favorite here right now, favored by 5 and the total 240 and a half coming into this one. The Grizzlies at home here doesn't feel like remember, Grizzlies have had injuries all season long, up and down, and even though Morant is questionable here in this one with a shoulder injury, you got Wembanyama also on the injured list today with an illness, is what it says. His status is questionable coming into this game. So the Grizzlies, have played plenty of games without John Morant and been successful with him out of the lineup. Remember, that was kind of their MO a little bit when early in the season when Morant wasn't with the team, and they were still getting it done, and they're still getting it done here with another winning streak. They've won 2 in a row, and just continuing on, just carrying on, right? They beat Milwaukee, of course, we just talked about. They beat Houston, didn't get the number, remember, in that thrilling game that they won by just 1 point as a 4-point favorite, but still winning when it counts. They did get blown out at the Knicks there on a 1-game trip, but hey, Knicks are playing well, and that was, maybe an outlier there. Memphis has been terrific at home, 21 and 10 against the spread as a favorite, 16 and 8 against the spread at home. The Knicks are 11 and 9 against the spread on the road, but man, Memphis has been such a moneymaker, it feels like, this season. And we'll see what you guys do here with this one. San Antonio does come in 4-1 in their last 5 meetings here in Memphis, going up against the Grizzlies. But Memphis has still won 16 of the last 17 meetings overall between these two teams. All right, I'm going to go to the chat here. Memphis has covered 7 straight at home against the spread against sub 500 teams, so they can beat up on these type of teams, it feels like. Going to the chat now to see what you guys are doing in this one. And it's going to be Cash Kane says, lay it with the Grizzlies and go over here. I mean, you look at the way these teams are going over right now. Both teams are 8-2 to the over in their last 10 games overall. Memphis 19-14 against the spread as a favorite. Thomas likes Memphis here. And Redbeard said, let's more trade. Let's just trade everybody to LA. The funny thing is, when you heard the general manager there for Dallas, it sounded like he was doubling down on the move, right? He didn't make any bones about it. You could easily grill him to his face and say, hey, the public perception is that you guys kind of got fleeced. Are you prepared to defend yourself? But they still, he stuck by his comments saying that, defense wins championships and stuff like that. So, that, hey, you could put your reputation on the line. You come out winning this one, you'll cement yourself, as an established, GM willing to take the chance and willing to make the right move. But we'll see. This is a lot of Grizzlies in here, and yeah, there it is from Thomas. I didn't need to wait much longer there. And Thomas says it's a consensus play tonight. So you know what? I'll just pivot there. I was thinking Memphis as well as my play, but I should have seen this one coming from the chat. So I'll take the over as my play. It's already a huge number, and I would think that's the way this one's probably going to go. I mean, why wouldn't it here tonight? Great value spot. Fernando says over. He kind of likes the Spurs. I like over for sure, and I think the Spurs. So Billy says the Hawks are going down. He says the Clippers are no good. And I don't know. I like teams that make money, though. I like teams that win. I like good spread teams. That's what I like. Without Wemby, though, it might go under. It's a great point there by Abel. You think of the way Wemby is a great, shot, makes the other team change their shot and everything like that. We'll see tonight if he's in the lineup, right? Yeah, I don't know if we'll still need one day maybe to complete these trades a little bit, huh? All right, I'll keep it going here right now. I can make it through the show if you can bear with my voice here. Pacers are taking on the Jazz here in this one tonight. The Pacers come in 27-20 overall. Utah had a rough run for sure, 11-36 right now, but the Jazz are coming off of a win. They snapped their losing streak last time with a win over Orlando, 113-99. So good for the Jazz there. For the Pacers, they're hot, coming in with 3 straight wins here. They didn't cover last time out against Atlanta, but still a really good streak here. It feels like right now the Pacers are back on pace, so to speak, here getting towards a playoff run here. Indiana's covered the spread in 11 of their last 12 games on the road coming into this one. And, still going to lay a little bit of a number here, but that's a pretty good stat against the Utah team that, they had a little bit of a streak there where they were covering when they were all healthy again, but now they've had some personnel missing here again of late. Now they are down to just Cody Williams here, so maybe they are a little bit healthier right now, but still the Pacers feel like they're back to their groove, or maybe even playing some of their best ball these last few games. It feels like for sure right now, at least picking it up again. Maybe some inconsistency again this season from the Pacers, but I don't think we're expecting much greater than this. Just right, good, steady, playoff contending team. So see what you guys want to do in this one. Might have got the gist the way I'm going to feel about this one, but I also can look to the total here, possibly with the Pacers 27-20 to the over this season. Utah is 24-21 to the over as a favorite. Indiana's got an over in 4 straight games, but I don't know if the trends really point that much to a total, but I don't know. When I kind of maybe it's an eye test situation. 4 of the last 5 meetings have gone under, but when the matchup today, we've already seen the steam come in on the over. It was 238 and all the way up here to 240 and a half. So I think that I think that's a pretty big indicator, actually. Let's go to the chat and see what you guys have to say. And Abel says, hey, you got to be ready for that great game between the Lakers and the Mavericks on February 25th. All right. Bill Siegfried said maybe, that I think he's talking about that press conference that, Jason Kidd got that backward hat on. He's still pretty hip after all these years. But lay it with the Pacers here. Scott says, lay it with the Pacers. Abel's on the Pacers. It's a lot of Pacers action here. Wow. And they're Clippers get the money but no cover. What does that mean, Bill? That's the same thing. Clippers get the money but no cover. That means Clippers get the money, they're covering. Robert's on the Pacers here. This is a lot of Pacers, man. A lot of everybody's on the Pacers here. Wow. Terrell says last 2 games, though, at Utah, the Pacers have lost here. Billy loves the Pacers in this one. I'm going to go with the Pacers as well. If you guys are all on the Pacers, how can I ignore them here to roll this big number? Billy said OKC took a lot of steam now all of a sudden, up to 11.5. All right, I'm on the Pacers here for sure. Let's move on to the next one with the Pelicans taking on the Nuggets here in this one. You got the Nuggets favored here by 11.5. And the total is 241 with Denver at home against these Pelicans. And again, could the Pelicans be moving some of these players here or a player or two here today that makes kind of feel like you don't want to bet this game too heavily this evening, but we'll see here. The home team always covers the spread in this series. 9 of the last 10 times the home team covers in this one. Denver's gone over in 5 straight games at home. Denver's won a couple in a row here following a short losing streak, but they are definitely not getting the number, if you know what I mean. They can't cover anything, it feels like right now with this spread losing streak is what it is. Meanwhile, the Pelicans may be closing the gap a little bit. They've struggled big time here with a losing streak, but they did get the money against Boston last time out, as everyone does in that role. But nonetheless, New Orleans still pretty bad here, 7-16 against the number on the road, and at least Denver's a 500 proposition. We've often talked about, however, though, that Denver, they just don't seem to cover these double-digit numbers very well. Still, they're going up against a team that, yes, they've been weak against the spread. They're in a little bit of transition with their roster right now, although Zion is probable in this game. Coming in, Daniel Tice is questionable, Jordan Hawkins questionable, and of course, the bad news on DeJounte Murray with that Achilles injury, just heartbreaking there, as he's out for the remainder of the season right now, and it really brought down a downer here, and maybe that's going to free up the Pelicans to ready to unload a little bit here. All right, Russ is out for the Nuggets here tonight with a hamstring injury. Peyton Watson out as well. So you do have some other factors here too. Still, they should be able to dominate, but man, can you really trust them to cover the number here against the whoever's out there for the Pelicans? Let's go to the chat and see. Thomas does like New Orleans here. Jermaine says the Zion train over 22.5. Cash Kane likes the game to go over here tonight. How can you not like this one to go over? It feels like the way these two teams are going. The Steam came in on the over here, obviously, and you have Denver 15-7 to the over at home, 21-14 to the over as a favorite. New Orleans 21-15 to the over as a dog. It feels like a total over situation that might be hard to ignore. Four of the last five meetings between the two teams here in Denver have gone over. New Orleans has gone over in six of their last eight games, and Denver's gone over in five straight at home. Feels like a solid over, but let's see here. Anything else in this one? Nuggets for Abel. And Robert does like the over here in this one. All right, I'm going to take the Nuggets to roll these guys right now, and I can only recommend it here on the show. I'm not going to go too heavy on it, but I'll play it still. But I'm more interested in that total. I think Nuggets and over for Abel. All right, we're just about through. Two more in the NBA tonight with the Suns taking on the Trailblazers here in, well, Portland, just one of the hottest things going for sure. We all love the Trailblazers at this point, it feels like. Trailblazers have covered five straight games at home. They're on a three-game winning streak here right now, just playing terrific. And they also beat the Suns 127-108 just about month ago, or I'm sorry, day ago or so. They're at Portland 127-108, and Phoenix had dominated the Trailblazers really of late. So what can you do in this one? You do have some pretty distinctive trends, I would think, that kind of points to the Trailblazers here. This is a home-dominated series, and I think you're getting these points here at with Portland. That's 8-2 against the spread in their last 10 games overall, 27-17 against the spread as an underdog. And of course, Phoenix is one of the worst favorite teams in the league at 10-19 overall as a favorite. So 7 of the last 9 games for Phoenix has gone over when they're a favorite. And I don't know, kind of feels like that's the direction here in this one, because Portland is 16-9 to the over at home. So let's see here if you guys are thinking what I'm thinking, or should we look another direction in this one? Phoenix has won 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams, and it does seem like Cappers are kind of still taken to the Suns here today. All right, and let's take a look here with Cash Kane on the Blazers. Jermaine's on the Suns. Robert's on Portland here, and Abel says going to blaze it up with the Blazers. I'm going to take the over in this one as my pick, but I think you might know where I'm headed there on the side. But I don't mind this over, and I want to give out a great play here on the show. So I feel like it should go over. 11 of the last 15 meetings between these two teams here in Portland have gone over. So good series history in that as well. It's a big number here now at 230.5. Oh, you know what? Oh, it's down to 228. That might be in premium territory there, but too late. Let's just call it here with the Suns and the Blazers.
Steam play.
228.5. And I'll go over. All right, we got one more. There is some college basketball steam to report, but I'll do that here after the last game on the NBA card. With the Magic taking on the Warriors here in this one. The Warriors are a 2.5-point favorite at home against the Magic. The Warriors are definitely struggling big time, to such an extent where you don't know what the solution is or how they can turn it around here, it feels like, at this point. Now, granted, we know we've had, some injuries here. We finally have Draymond probable for the game, so maybe he is that guy, because it does seem like the struggles here have been with Draymond out for a couple of games right now. But They are still favored here against an Orlando team that, as good as they've been, this has kind of been their roughest role a little bit, and they're playing a team that they really have had no success against in the past, even though we know Orlando has not been necessarily as good as Golden State. Still, Golden State's won 10 of the last 11 meetings between these two teams, 10 of the last 11 years, basically at home against Orlando. Orlando's gone under in 5 of their last 7, and they've gone under in 6 of their last 9 games on the road here right now. Warriors do trend over a little bit, over in 5 of their last 6 games overall coming in, but let's see what you guys want to do here with our last game on the card with Orlando and Golden State. It does feel like these Orlando trips can get a little bit long, but maybe even though they're, much improved, strong team this season, almost at 500 still, though. They're almost maybe not as good as we think they are. Are they what we thought they were? They're struggling to get numbers here right now. 9-17 against the spread on the road, 7-13 against the spread as an underdog, and just 2-8 against the spread in their last 10 games overall. So I'm going to try the Warriors here. I got burned with them recently. They haven't looked that great against decent teams, and I'm not sure we're ready to just put Orlando in that B minus class just yet. So let's see what you guys have in this one. With Thomas on Golden State. And Redbeard likes the over. And Thomas says you got, maybe some injury bug here a little bit still with Orlando. Jalen Suggs, questionable here in this one. But other than that, they're getting pretty healthy here. Like I said, Draymond in there as well. Teams are mostly ready to go. Abel's on the Magic, but Robert's on the Warriors.
Steam play.
Billy says back on that Blazer game that, Portland always good at home, right? And if you got them playing a little bit better, this young team, maybe that helps them a little bit. And Billy says, Golden State could be definitely on the outside looking in right now, the way they're going just at 500 right now. JW with a parlay here with the Suns and the Magic. Jermaine likes the under in this one. And I'll take the Warriors here, and I think that's it for the NBA. So let me at least here, before we go to our one game in hockey, get some of this steam out of the way. And it was Grambling taking some steam here in college basketball today. Last game on the extra board here, Grambling was a 3.5-point favorite. They're up to 4.5, it looks like right now tonight, with Grambling at home against Alcorn. Grambling up to 5.5 at Bovada. This one's really on the move here with Grambling taking steam against Alcorn. Alcorn has covered some games for sure, right? And if anything, Grambling has been a little bit overrated against the spread so far in conference play. So don't have that one on my preview list, I'll guarantee you that much. All right, and there was some other steam as well that came in. Incarnate Word took the steam in their matchup against McNeese. They were getting 17.5 or so, but we've seen this one now on the move, and right now it is currently at 16 at Circa's. Incarnate Word took the steam against McNeese. League undefeated McNeese in that one. Also, Rio Grande Valley and Northwestern State took some steam here from 142 down to 140 or so right now, I want to say here. 141 at Circa, maybe 141 at most of the books actually, but the steam did come in there in that one between Rio Grande Valley and Northwestern State. Just now, Iowa State and Kansas. We're seeing steam right now to the over in this one with Iowa State and Kansas. I mean, Kansas certainly has been one of the biggest under teams in the country so far this season, but the Sharps don't care, and this one's going up much higher all of a sudden. It was as low as 142. Now we know Iowa State, uh, you know, having a great season. Certainly, this one's all the way up to 146. Even though we know that Kansas has had a bunch of unders this season, that last game did go over by quite a bit. So maybe they're starting to move in that territory. We're playing good teams, playing better teams. Maybe it is going to go over there with 146.5 right now. Kansas State and Iowa State, their big move to the over. All right. Oh, and that Rio Grande Valley. So that was steam to the under there. I think I failed to mention, but down from 142 to 141 or so. Also, College of Charleston. We're going to preview that one. They were steamed from 2.5 here, and Charleston right now is up to, guess I'm going to call it right now at 3.5 for the most part for Charleston. A 1-point move here for the favorites on College of Charleston here today. UAB also took some steam in their home game against North Texas. They were a 1.5 point favorite or so, but UAB right now, they took the steam here a little while ago, and they're up to -2.5 today against North Texas. UAB took the steam this morning. All right, I think I'm ready to go with that hockey matchup here. Let's get to it. And then we'll go over, I don't know how long we'll take on those. My voice is really giving out here. I don't has that ever happened here on the Morning Steam show? Never not been able to make the show because of my voice. All right. Ottawa taking on Nashville in this one. Let me bring it up here. Oh, let me see here. Let me get the old. All right, here we go. All right, there we go. There, I fixed it. Okay. So you have the Senators here against the Predators. And, for me, look, where are the Sharps now all of a sudden, right? These guys seem like they've been hitting Nashville all the time. And maybe they are. I mean, Nashville's still a favorite here. But, the public is, I figure their public's got to be on Ottawa here, right? As hot as Ottawa has been. And even though Nashville, like I said, they continue to get hit by the Sharps, it feels like. And now, even when they're losing, they've been getting hit by the Sharps. But now they haven't been hit by the Sharps, it feels like today. And they're on the 4-game losing streak. And the Senators on a 4-game winning streak coming in. So I would think the public is going to probably, and maybe even handicappers here, feel like they're on Ottawa here in this one. I might be totally contrarian here, and I don't even know if I can convince anyone in the chat. And I don't even know if I have enough trends that can convince it, because the Senators have actually owned this series. Here, if I'm not mistaken, I'm get the numbers here real quick, but this has not been a good series when playing against Ottawa for the Predators here. Let's see if we have it right now. 8-1 is Nashville in the last 9 games. Okay, no, I'm sorry. So it's Nashville owns the season series. Nashville 8-1 in the last 9 home games against the Senators here. But of course, it's the Senators playing much, much better right now coming into this one. So, all right, help me out. I don't know how much longer I can last. And let's go to the chat with, all right, Mikey liked North Texas in here today, and that one against UAB. Abel likes the Prez. Oops, there it is. Abel likes the Preds there in that one. Billy doesn't like Alcorn at all. If you can't like Alcorn, how can you like Grambling? Nashville here for Robert. And these guys talking about North Texas there in the chat. So I'm going to try Nashville here today. They're favored in this game, but I'm going to try them here against Ottawa. All right. I'm going to move on to college basketball. Good morning to Joe in the chat. And got 90 of you toughing it out here with me in this one. Let's go to college basketball today. I've got plenty of small school teams kind of to look at here. I'm going to preview several matchups in college basketball from the extra board. I'm going to try anyway. We might speed things up. And let's try to go to it here with Colgate taking on Lehigh in this one. This one goes off early at 6 Pacific, 3 Eastern on CBS Sports Network because, hey, it's a pretty impactful game here, it feels like, in this one today in the Patriot League. You look at the Patriot League standings right now, you got Colgate at 6-4, 2 games behind American. Now Lehigh is way down there. They're 3-7. They really struggled. Colgate's lost 3 straight games in a row, but they're still the better team, it feels like to me, than Lehigh in this one. And I'm just going to end up taking Colgate for sure, laying 3.5 points. Colgate hasn't been terrific against the spread, no doubt about it, but to me, I just think they are the better team here in this one, and I'm wondering if Lehigh will even get to 65, maybe in the low 60s here in this one against Colgate. I want to take Colgate here. Yeah, Lehigh's 6-3 at home this season, and Colgate is just 3-9 on the road, but Colgate's played the second toughest conference schedule so far this season in the Patriot, and Lehigh is the 8th toughest schedule in the conference. So I'm taking Colgate here in this one, minus 3.5 on the road. Hello to Chosen One today. He does like Kansas in college basketball. Jermaine like the Senators back in that hockey game. Sorry, you guys, I left you hanging there. Robert does like the over in this one. Redbeards on Ottawa. Abel like the under in the basketball game there. Billy says he likes KU in the game against Iowa State. All right. Give me Colgate here in this one. I'm sticking in the small school universe here. We're going to preview definitely today with Alabama State. Let's go to the SWAC where they'll take on Florida A&M in this one. You've got an Alabama State team coming in 4-4 in conference play. Meanwhile, Florida A&M, they're 5-3 in conference play. Southern on top of the standings at 8-0. Texas Southern 7-1. We got a competitive matchup here in this one with Alabama State and Florida A&M. I'm going to end up playing the total in this one, but Florida A&M comes in here on a winning streak right now in conference play. So they've really turned things around here and got things going right now with wins over Pine Bluff, Mississippi Valley, Alcorn, Jackson, and Alabama A&M to kind of get back into it after a 3-0. After an 0-3 start in conference play. They've been really, really good. They're 4-1 against the spread at home this season, and Alabama State is just 7-13 against the spread on the road, 2-8 against the spread in their last 10 games. So I don't know. It must be one of these so-called traps, or I don't even know what's going to happen in this game. Maybe I do know what's going to happen, it feels like, in this game, but still you have Alabama State here as a road favorite in the game. So see what you guys have. They're down to 1.5 or so, but Florida A&M 9-5 against the spread as an underdog, 12-5 against the spread overall, 6-1 straight up at home. Alabama State just 1-10 straight up on the road. So I'm going to take the under as my play here on the show because I'm using some premiums here. It feels like today. Maybe I just don't have my enough credence or knowledge on this SWAC game that I don't think that Florida A&M feels like the line is broken or something. The widely reported steam came in on Florida A&M, so I'm going with the under though in this one between Alabama State and Florida A&M is my pick on the show. And let's see what if you guys took a look at this one with me at all. Jake likes the under there. Robert likes the under as well. Billy is waiting for the UAB game. All right, just picking a few out here for Jermaine. Want to show that I can look into some of these games, man, and I just didn't know what was going on with that one. So you tell me. All right, let's go rolling right now. Again, with more mid-major action here today in this one with Lamar on the road against Southeast Louisiana. Oops. All right. And Southeast Louisiana, 3.5 point favorite here, and the total currently at 136.5 or so. Lamar comes in with a 4-game winning streak here right now. Wins over SFA, Northwestern State, East Texas A&M, and Nichols coming in, and they've been covering some numbers for sure here of late. Has the Cardinals in this one, but still Southeast Louisiana right now are going to be favored in this one. And look at the conference standings in the Southland right now. Lamar is 8-3 atop the standings. Southeast Louisiana is 7-4 currently. They're doing a pretty good job as well against the spread, 12-7 so far against the spread this season. They've also they're 5-1 straight up as a favorite here. I'm going to end up playing the total here in this one. Not a lot trend wise, but I just think in this matchup at 136, I'm going to prefer the under here in this one. I think for me, Lamar is a little bit the better team defensively, but I think Southeast Louisiana is just as competent defensively. Maybe I would still lean to Lamar, but give me the under here in this one with Lamar and Southeast Louisiana. You got Sam Hines here for Sela. Probably the best player on the court for sure. So let's see if you guys like anything here. Over though for Jake, he's going to go against me in this one. Billy liked Lehigh. Jermaine's with me, laying it here with Sela. And Jermaine went back with Florida A&M there with me. All right. I'll keep it going. I think I can make it here with South Carolina State on the road at Howard here in this one. I definitely want to take a look at this one between South Carolina State and Howard. Maybe I'm just kind of touching on the best game in each one of these conferences, it feels like so far, and take a look at the standings right now in the MEAC. You've got Howard at 3-1. They're 1 game behind 5-1 Norfolk. So 2 games in hand, so to speak. But South Carolina State comes in 3-3 in this one, and they got Drayton Jones, a sophomore, there, and going up against Blake Harper, the talented freshman of the Bison. Here, Howard comes in 8-13. South Carolina State 9-12 coming in. Howard's won 3 of their last 5 games overall, but South Carolina State has been the much better spread team this season between the two. South Carolina State is 6-2 against the spread as a favorite this season, and let me make sure they're still a favorite. It's closely rated. And right now, South Carolina State still a 1-point favorite for the most part. The total 154. Howard is just 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 games overall coming into this one. So it just feels like South Carolina State, the better team. The steam did come in on South Carolina State reportedly, but I didn't really see it move too heavily in their favor. Maybe they were a pick 'em at some spots, but Bet online. Bovada did actually open Howard the 1 point favorite, but I'm going to take South Carolina State on the road here in this one. You may see some points for sure here. Howard 9-1 to the over in their last 10, 5-1 to the over at home, and South Carolina State is 6-2 to the over as a favorite, and maybe they'll still stay a favorite here. So I'm going to end up here taking South Carolina State on the road over Howard in this one in MEAC play. All right. And let's see here. South Carolina State, maybe for Jake. Jerry's on South Carolina State. Abel's on South Carolina State. How about that? And Robert likes the over here in this one. All right. Got several on South Carolina State there with me. I thought I thought maybe Howard would be the more public team, but I think maybe you guys see what I do in that one. All right. Going to go to the main board a little bit here now and take a look at Charleston taking on William and Mary in this one. And Charleston has taken the steam here this morning, it feels like, and they've moved from a 2.5 to a 3-point favorite in this one. Charleston's won 9 of their last 11 games coming in. They're 2-1 against the spread as a road favorite in conference play. They're 6-1 straight up against teams ranked outside the top 200 or so. William and Mary, they definitely had a little bit of modest success here right now with their 13-9 record. So that's why this one's kind of an intriguing matchup here, it feels like. For William and Mary, they come in here. They lost by 41 points last game. That after they, I don't know, they were on a start of the game hot, I think it was. But also, you got to check the status here. Let me look here real quick of Collier here, right? I think he's going to have an injury designation right now. No, I don't. Maybe he doesn't here in this one. I thought he had missed the last game, but Charleston has won the last 6 meetings between these two teams coming into this one. And William and Mary, they are 4-0 straight up at home. All of those, though, they were a favorite here in those games, but now they are a dog. They are 9-0 straight up at home so far this season. So that does make it pretty intriguing, but still, College of Charleston, pretty strong team here right now. And if you look at the current standings, in conference play in the Colonial right now, Charleston is at 7-2. Bill and Mary's also at 7-2, but Charleston has played the much tougher schedule between the two teams, the 5th toughest conference schedule, while William and Mary playing the 11th toughest conference schedule coming in. So let's see what if you have anything here on this one with College of Charleston and William and Mary. Charleston has gone over in 11 of 16 games as a favorite. All right, I'm going to the chat here, and South Carolina State was a consensus play. Thank you. Thank you, Thomas. Good. So we have the contest set with our second play there with South Carolina State. All right, and that's what I was on as well. So I would have went with the total there if I would have known that, because I like the over. If you guys, I'm gonna go back on that a little bit, and I'll take the over in the South Carolina State and Howard game today. You guys are going consensus. I like the consensus in that one, so let me go ahead. I like the over as well, so let me put another play out there. You guys take consensus play South Carolina State. I'm on them with you. And I'll go with the over, but we've got 2 plays there in our in our consensus. So great. All right. Jerry to bounce back here with William and Mary. Good morning to Sub. And let's see. Billy says South Carolina State's a lock today. I don't mind that. Abel leaning to the over. All right. Oh. I'm stuck on the graphics here, I think, right now, and I don't know if I'm still. There we go. Okay. Just having a little bit of a technical. There we go. Okay, there we go. All caught up here. Anyways, in this one, I'm actually going to take William and Mary here as a dog in this game against Charleston. So give me William and Mary here. I hope I didn't trick you guys there. It wasn't because I was having a technical issue, but I'm totally having a problem right now, you guys, with the graphics. Okay, there we go. Maybe we're back on here. My voice is going, my show is going. Let me just get through a few more games, can we? You guys have been talking about this one the whole time with North Texas here against UAB, and I am seeing plenty of opinions here. It felt like you guys are even going two-way here in this one, so I think I'm going to end up looking at the total here just to stay out of the way of the chat. I think I saw two-way action there. It felt like with the way the chat was talking about it, but we do obviously it's a massive game here. It feels like right now in the America. Take a look at the current standings here with currently both teams 7-2 right now, trailing Memphis by one game. Of course, North Texas lost their first game and not good. They were favored by 14.5, and they tasted defeat in that embarrassing loss to Texas San Antonio as a 14.5 point favorite coming in. Things have been going swimmingly for North Texas. Meanwhile, UAB has won 2 in a row after they lost to Memphis on the road. They beat Tulsa, covered as a favorite. They beat Charlotte, covered in that one. They've been rolling here. UAB's been looking pretty good. For both teams, looking great, no doubt. Teams met back on New Year's Eve, and North Texas won 78-75 as a 6 point favorite at home. So UAB did get the money in that one. Let's go to the chat, and I'm trying to remember what you guys had in this game a little bit, but see what you guys want to do here with Jerry on UAB in this one. And Curtis says, maybe I need to do that. And Terrell telling us about but how is that going to help him on the court, Terrell? That's what I want to know. Robert here is on the under, but Abel's on the over. You know, it's funny, right? Because you think of North Texas and you immediately gravitate towards the under, but they haven't been totally under this season. They're just 9-9 over and under, but they are 0-3 to the under as a favorite. And I said it was a lot of talk on North Texas. I'm taking the under. I think we're back to North Texas ball a little bit here. Yeah, UAB maybe he's had a few overs as a favorite, 10-7 to the over as a favorite, but I'm going back to the old North Texas way. It feels like here, and I'm going to end up taking the under in this game with North Texas and UAB. 5 straight meetings between these two teams have gone over, so make note of that. But I'm back to North Texas under, it feels like, in this one. The first one was 153 points at North Texas, make no mistake, but I'm going under. All right. Yeah, Jake says it kind of trickles over. I've got a couple more to look at here. You guys have been talking about this one as well with Iowa State and Kansas here right now. And yeah, what happened, Iowa State? They're starting to feel some vulnerability here with losses at Arizona, loss to Kansas State at home. So all of a sudden, Iowa State's having some woes. Now, Kansas isn't covering anything here pretty much. They lost to Baylor. They did beat Central Florida, but failed to cover double digits. And, of course, they lost in that incredible game to Houston. But here, maybe laying a reasonable number, dare I say. Kansas State is 6-2, their last 8 games on the road. 7 of the last State meetings between these two teams have gone under. Remember what I said, Kansas, they've been that massive under this season, but the last game against Baylor, it did go for 151. The Central Florida game was 178. The Houston game, Houston. Now remember, there was some overtime there, right? But it was 178 points. And K-State game was 162. So all of a sudden, Kansas is starting to produce some over results here now against Iowa State. Maybe that could be different. The first meeting was 74-57. Iowa State got the win at home as a 5.5-point favorite here. I'm coming back on Kansas. They've won 5 straight meetings here against Iowa State. And Iowa State was good in those seasons, decent in those seasons, and Kansas was, pretty strong, but still had a little bit of woes here of late. Not woes, but just down a tick here over the last season or so, right? But I'm going to take Kansas tonight to hand another loss to Iowa State here. I'm going with Rock Chalk in this one. Jerry is too. So is Abel here today. Good morning to Keith joining us today. Jake says KU, man, KU feels kind of consensus-y, although Terrell did say easy bounce back for the Cyclones there. And Jerry was talking about that UAB game going over, saying UAB will dictate the pace a little bit in that game. I can agree with that, Terrell, but it should be noted that UAB now, like I said, they are playing kind of one of the defensive stalwarts, right? But if you look at UAB, the conference games at home. Even though they've had some overs, a lot of those overs total was modest and maybe the 130 mid 130s, I think. And for the most part, most of the UAB conference games seem to be going under this number. So that's all I was thinking there. Kansas here for Thomas. There's no over-under trends to support that because it would actually say the game is expected to go over. But I think those are because the total was a little bit different. Okay, so Kansas is a consensus play here, says Thomas, and I'm on them with you. And Robert was on it too. All right, I got one more game to go, and I guess I am going to need a Northern Colorado taking on Idaho State in this one with my man AJ Bergen here. So what's going to happen today with Idaho State taking on Northern Colorado? Let's go out to the big sky and take a look at the current standings right now. This game certainly factors a little bit in at this point into what's going to be happening, at least in the conference tournament. With this matchup, you got Idaho State 5-4 coming into this one. Northern Colorado atop the standings at 8-1, first place currently in conference play. But nonetheless, Idaho State here, I kind of want to play them. I might be more rooting with my heart here in this one, but both teams have won and covered each of their last 2 games coming in. Idaho State beat Idaho 87-71 as a 5-point favorite at home. They also dumped Eastern Washington. They're playing their 3rd straight home game here after a couple of covers. They've struggled a bit on the road, but Idaho State 7-3 against the spread as a dog here, and I think they're still a dog. Right now, I'm showing it. Yeah, still 1.5 here at this point. Also, though, 5-2 against the spread at home. Idaho State, a good cover. 12-5 against the spread overall. Now, Northern Colorado, 7-4 against the spread on the road, but it should be noted, 4-7 against the spread as a favorite. They're still a favorite here, even if it is the slightest of favorites in this one. 2 teams definitely producing some overs this year, combined for a 21-15 record to the over, including Northern Colorado 8-3 to the over as a favorite. We'll go to the chat. This is our last game, and not that I don't love you, but thank goodness a little bit here. And see what you have in this one. This series has gone over in 11 of the last 12 meetings here. at Idaho State, and 5 straight meetings between the two teams have gone over. And let's see here. And I think Jake's saying these two play close games. Robert's on Idaho State here in this one. So is Abel here. Jake also thinks the over. And Billy was talking about that other game. Okay. And these two teams did meet 1 month ago, and it was the Bears winning at 93 to 92. Northern Colorado was an 8-point favorite in that game at home, did not cover. The Bengals got the money. So, okay, I think that's it for me, and that might be it for the show. Yeah, high-scoring game there for sure, and probably be thinking it might do it again here, it feels like. Jake says 7 of the last 8. What is it, 7 total? Last 8 meetings, the total's been set really every time in there. Wow, that is crazy. Look at that. They just slapped the same slappy total on there every time, Jake. Wow, amazing. And yeah, it goes over every single time. How about that? Okay, well, I guess we know what the premium is there. Oh, that was already the plan, but nonetheless, I'll take my Idaho State Bengals with my man, AJ Bergen. I got to root for him to have one here and have a big game against first place Northern Colorado. All right. That's going to do it for the morning steam, everybody. Don't forget, we got Mikey Money at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific today with pre-gaming. He'll get you ready for the primetime action for this action here on Monday night. Don't forget, you can get all of my picks here today at winnable.com. Get my sports money premiums over there for just $4 today or $8 a week or $19.95 a month. When you use the promo code STEAM, that gets you down to 50 cents a day. That's how you support me on the show. And hopefully you're going to get a lot of great plays from me leading up to the games each and every day. I never miss a day. You guys know that. And I get my plays up there on the Winnable platform. So check me out over there. Let's go to our show. Our contest here. And see who's going to have that 3-teamer today. Here we go. Good luck. Philly, Nuke, Super True, Doubles, Chosen One, JW, Timmy, Curtis, Abel, Cash Cane Joe, and Subhuman. Hey, you know we're going to give Subhuman a chance to win this great contest and try to make him that much. We got a 3-teamer. We've been getting 300 hits here, sub. So get ready. You're going to win $18 today when that 3-teamer comes home. That'll get you a few White Russians. My name is Sub. All right, that's going to do it for us here. Whoops. Oh, man, I always blow it and ruin the perfect show. Okay, appreciate it, everybody. Thanks there to have you guys. Appreciate it. There's the teams we got today, says Thomas Lewis. Also, had Super True here today. Thanks, everybody. All right, catch you tomorrow. More Morning Steam, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific here on the Sports Money Network. For the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
Steam, it's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning. Steve. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the mother.